Wanted to welcome you to our training session today on the Hive DX receiver. We're really excited about this product here as it has so many different features, functionality, and it's a really, really good price point. I know I say that on almost every training we do, but for what this receiver does, it really is priced extremely competitive, and it allows you to have one receiver on your truck for almost any application that you will be needing to use a receiver on. So what we're going to be showing you today, some of the applications that you'll see here, and there's many other applications that we're not going to show, are we have the Hive DX receiver mounted here to an automatic door opener. This is not our automatic door opener, it's just one we have. We have that triggered by relay 1, and then we have a flashing light at the top to indicate the triggering of relay 2. And then on the Hive DX receiver here, we're actually triggering an electric strike inside the door frame, which you'll see here. We're going to go through in this recorded training all of the functions and features that this receiver has and show you exactly what it will do and how to make it do those things that we say it will do. You'll notice it is extremely easy to program. It is super robust. So like I said, you're able to, if you throw 5 of these receivers on your truck, you drive out to a job and you have an automatic door that you need to use. You can use it. If you need to do sequencing in a vestibule, you can do that. If just almost any application that you have where you're going to be doing automatic doors, automatic gates, and even access control, which we show here on this door, you're able to use this receiver. Again, the price point on it is extremely good, and what this thing does, I think you'll be blown away in such a small package, how easy it is to program and to quickly add transmitters, change the functionality, set relay times, all of those different things we're going to show you today. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the computer and show you the instructions, and then we're going to go ahead and program this and go through each of the functions that we have listed. Again, on all of our trainings, we get all of our information and literature right from our website, transmittersolutions.com. I'm going to go to Our Products, and under Our Products, it went ahead and skipped ahead for me. I'm going to go to Our Products, and ADA Access is where this one falls under. Like I said, though, this receiver is not just specific to automatic doors. It is used a lot in automatic gate applications as well, because of what it will do, and like I said, you can throw it out there and use it on a ton of different applications, automatic doors and gates probably being the 2 primary. Some good things about this receiver we will talk less about, but I want to make sure that I mentioned, are it has the memory for up to 800 transmitters. Right now, the receivers that we're training on today are 433 megahertz, so that's going to go along with our 433 Monarchs, 433 Stingrays, or our 433 transmitter modules, which if you refer back to this door over here, we have our transmitter module behind this push plate on this application. So we have our 433 transmitter module, and then we're going to be showing off our, these are our Monarchs, our keychain style, 433 megahertz line of products will work with this receiver. Coming soon, we will have, what you can see here, 915 megahertz. We've been getting a lot of requests for 900 megahertz products for automatic doors. That seems to be the way most guys are going, and so we've jumped on that. We will have soon 900 megahertz with a 900 megahertz line of transmitter modules and transmitters as well, so you can look forward to that. 800 memory for the transmitters, 2 relays, which will show you how each of them function, 12 or 24 volt AC or DC, and again 433 megahertz for the time being. You can click and get the cut sheet under downloads or the manual. I already have the manual here. You will see that you have extremely easy instructions step by step from everything of how to program in a transmitter, remove a transmitter. You have to individually enroll transmitters, but you can block delete or individually delete. I'll say that again. You have to individually load transmitters one at a time, up to 800, but you can individually delete or block delete the transmitters, and I'll show you how we're going to do those functions here in just a minute. This receiver has 6 different functions or modes that it can operate under, and each of these functions does something different, all programmed through an LCD display on the receiver, which you'll see when we go through the functioning. So what I want to do is I want to show you all of the different functions that we have. I will be going through 5 of the 6, and you'll understand why here in a minute. But we're going to be able to get through all of these in about 10 minutes. It's that simple to program. And like I said, what this thing will do for the price point is amazing because it's going to really reach most of the applications that you have out there. So starting off, we have mode 1. Mode 1 is called dual independent outputs. This is a typical installation where you're going to have something, in this case, a push plate with a transmitter module triggering relay 1, and then a different push plate or transmitter triggering relay 2. So you see it breaks it down here at the bottom. It says mode 1, dual independent outputs. Independent is spelled wrong as well, so that's pretty cool. Program the transmitter 1 on relay 1, and then the transmitter will activate relay 1 on the tone 1 time. The tone 1 time, which you'll learn as we go through this, is the relay hold time. You can set it from 1 to 60 seconds, and then it's going to do the same thing for relay 2. So let's go ahead and jump over to our Hive DX receiver on our automatic door opener here. I'm going to program in, I've got our 433 transmitter, which you can see here in the camera. Okay, I've got our 433 megahertz Monarch transmitter, and then let's switch camera views so I can just show them this door here real quick. And then I have our push plate. I'm going to program the push plate here, this handicap push plate with our transmitter module on it, into relay 1, and then I'm going to program this Monarch transmitter into relay 2. Each of them will trigger independent relays and will set the relay time as well. So the way that I get into programming mode is by pressing the far right-hand button, okay? So I'm going to press the far right-hand button. It's going to say function, and now with this potentiometer, I can scroll through one of 6 functions. I'm going to set it to mode 1, or function 1. Tone 1 time is my relay time, so I want this relay to hold for 3 seconds, relay 1. Tone 2 time is my relay 2 hold time. I'm going to set that to 4 seconds. The TLDY is something we will get to, and the power allows me to see if my signal strength is bad or good. So now I'm in mode 1, which is going to operate independently. Now I'm going to program in these 2 devices into this receiver. So this button here programs relay 1. This button here programs relay 2. So all I'm going to do is press it, and when I press it, you're going to see an indication that says RAD1 come up. RAD1, and I'm going to push my transmitter module, and it's going to say done. I just pressed my push plate, so now my push plate is programmed into relay 1. I'm going to let that time out and go back to where it says mode. It takes about 30 to 40 seconds. Okay, and now I'm going to program relay 2 with this transmitter. I'm going to push it until I see RAD2. Press the transmitter, it's going to say done, and it's going to go through its power, go through its cycle, and then it will go back to where it will say mode 1. Now what I've done is I've told this receiver I want this to be function 1, meaning that I have a device triggering relay 1 and I have a different device triggering relay 2 for the relay times that I set, again, in this screen. Tone 1 is my relay 1 time, which I can change. You can see I can go all the way up to 60 seconds with that potentiometer. I'm going to drop it back down. I'll just do 3 seconds. And tone 2 is my relay 2 time. Again, I can hold that for 60 seconds as well. I'm going to drop that back down to 4 seconds as well. TDLY we'll get to in power is where you test your signal. So now I'm going to go ahead and we'll zoom out. I'm going to show you that I now have programmed the transmitter module into relay 1, and you can see my relay's on and now is off for 3 seconds. The reason this door is still open is because the automatic door opener is holding that door open longer, but my relay was not going from that point. Now, with my transmitter, and I'll get back in the screen here, with my transmitter I can push this and it will trigger relay 2, which is my light on top, okay, which you can kind of see. I'll push it again. Relay 2 is my light on top, and it's going to go for, I think I set it to 4 seconds, I can't remember, but you see, so I've got 2 different, and you can see I can trigger them at the same time. So relay 1 is going to open the door, relay 2 is going to trigger the light, okay? So that is a mode 1, very basic, standard installation for function 1. Okay, let's jump back over to the computer and look at function 2. Again, function 1 is what we just did. It's called dual independent outputs, and it's described here. Mode 2, or function 2, is called switching networks. This is where you're going to trigger relay 1, and then what's going to happen is after a certain amount of time that is set, relay 2 will fire automatically. So if we read mode 2 switching network, you must program the transmitter on relay 1. We have programmed the push plate with the transmitter module already into relay 1, so we're going to keep that there. The transmitter activate relay 1 for the tone 1 time, for the relay time, which we set to 4 seconds. Then after the TDLY time, which I told you we'd get to the TDLY time, the TDLY time is the duration from when one relay triggers to when the second one should automatically trigger, which is a really nice function. After the TDLY time, they activate relay 2 for the tone 2 time. So basically what this is saying is I'm going to push my transmitter module. It's going to trigger relay 1. Then it's going to count down a certain amount of time, which we will set, which I'll show you. After that certain amount of time, it's going to automatically trigger relay 2. So let's go ahead and show you this function. Again, I have already programmed in my push plate, so I'm not going to reprogram it in, but I am going to come up here and I'm going to change my function. Again, far right-hand side, press it once. I'm going to change my function to 2. And again, I'm just scrolling with the potentiometer. Function 2, push it again to the tone 1. This is, again, the relay 1 time for 3 seconds. The tone 2, I'm going to have go a little longer. I want this relay 2 or this flashing light to light up for 5 seconds. Now my TDLY time. How long after relay 1 triggers do I want to trigger relay 2? We're going to say, because I want this door to kind of be consistent, I want this door to be pretty much shut before my second door opens, is how you have to think about it in my power. So now we have that program. So the application for this would be someone is walking into a door. There's only one push plate for this entrance, or there are 2 gates, but there's only one transmitter for this entrance. You put this receiver on, you wire one door into relay 1, you wire another door into relay 2, and now all you have to press is one button. So we're zoomed out, correct? Press one button, which is you'll notice I won't press another button. That door is going to open, and now my TDLY time is counting down that, I think I set it for 13 seconds, and you can know because it's flashing up here on the screen that it's still functioning. That door is going to shut, and you'll see just about as this door shuts, relay 2 triggered. Really nice feature about this. You can see, I'll show it to you again, and I set that relay for 7 seconds. So let's do that one more time. So I walk up, I press this. Relay 2 is not currently on, only relay 1 is. That relay held for 3 seconds. Again, this automatic door opener just takes a little bit longer to shut. But my TDLY timer, my time between relay 1 activating and relay 2 activating, I set long enough that door shuts, and now relay 2 fires for 7 seconds. Okay? That is function 2 or switching network. I'll jump between the word mode and function when I'm talking about these, but you get the idea. Mode 3, vestibule sequencing option. This is one of what I think the next 2 modes are some of my favorite modes on what this thing can do because it's so robust. Well, like I said, we've already showed you 2 functions which most receivers don't have. Most receivers have the one function. Function number 1 and function number 2 is really cool, but these function number 3 or mode 3 and 4 are what are really, really nice functions. So this is saying you have 4 push plates in this scenario. We're going to use transmitters just because it's a little bit easier to show you during this training. But this is going to say we're going to program transmitter, or the buttons in this case, 1 and 4 to relay 1. Transmitters 1 and 4 will activate relay 1 for the relay 1 time or tone 1 time. Then after the TDLY time, or the amount of time before relay 2, they'll activate relay 2. Transmitters 2 and 3 will program into relay 2, and they're going to do the exact opposite. They're going to trigger relay 2 for the amount of time relay 2 is supposed to be triggered for, count down that TDLY time, and then trigger relay 1. So let's go ahead and do this. What I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to clear out everything we have programmed in here just to make sure we have a fresh slate and to show you how that works. So the way that you clear the system, again, you have relay 1 programming here and relay 2 programming here. All I'm going to do is press and hold this button. You can see a red LED light here, maybe. No, I don't think you can. But there's a red LED light there, and I'm just holding this. You hold it for about 15 seconds. That light is now blinking, and it says CLCLR. That is now deleted. This has been deleted from that. I'm going to do the same thing for relay 2. Press and hold until the red light starts to flash, and you get that change on the screen. Again, it takes between 10 to 15 seconds. Okay? So it's saying relay 2 has been cleared and relay 1 has been cleared. And I can prove it by pressing that was what was on relay 2, and it's not opening, and this was on relay 1, and it's not opening. So the entire system is clear. So now what we're going to do, just for ease of use, is I have a 2-button transmitter. Let me show these to the camera real quick. I have 2 2-button transmitters. Okay? These are going to count as our buttons 1 through 4 and our buttons, button 1 and 4 and button 2 and 3. Just to make it easier, I didn't want to have a bunch of push plates out here. But that's how we're going to go through this scenario. So what it says is program buttons, or not buttons, but program, let's pretend these are push plates, 1 and 4 into relay 1. So this is how I'm going to do it, just like I've done it before. Press relay 1, rad 1. There's button 1. There's button 4. Now let it time out. Okay, and it's going to go ahead and time out, and then I'm going to do the same thing with a different transmitter that we're going to call button 2 and button 3. Okay, now you have to kind of think a little different here. In most cases, it's not going to be transmitters. It could be. A lot of cases, it's going to be push plates, handicap push plates like we have on the door here. So you're going to have one push plate outside coming in, 2 push plates in the middle of this vestibule, and then a 4th push plate on the inside going out. That's what we're mimicking here, as you saw on the instruction manual. So now I'm in mode 2. I need to change my mode to mode 3. Okay. I'm going to keep my relay time set. I'll change it to 4 for relay 1, and I'm going to bring this one down to 5 on relay 2. And my TDLY time I'm going to bring down because I don't want to wait that long. We'll do 10 seconds, and there we go. Okay, so now what's going to happen is I have my push plate button 1 here, the top button, okay? Push plate button 4, the bottom button. Push plate button 2, push plate button 3. Again, this is what we're using because it's simpler to show you. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and push this. It's going to trigger relay 1 and open that door. And now the TDLY time is counting down. Again, you can tell because the LCD screen is flashing. And then relay 2 is going to automatically trigger. So what happened is I walked up to the door to go into the door. I pressed my push plate. It opened door number 1. I walked in, door number 1 shut behind me, and then door number 2 opened up. Okay? I can do the same thing for button 4. Same thing's going to happen for button 4. Okay? Button 4 is going to be in the center of that vestibule. And now I've done that for buttons 1 and 4. Now buttons 2 and 3 are coming from the inside of the building out. Buttons 1 and 4 were outside of the building in. Buttons 2 and 3 are inside of the building out. So what it's going to do is it's going to trigger relay 2, open door 2 for me first. Door 2 is going to close. Light went off. That's what we're imagining is close. And then it's still counting down and door 1 opens. Okay? Again, I'm not pushing anything. This is all being done in the receiver by just pressing one button in this case, or one push plate. So let's do that one more time, and I'm going to do it now with button 3. Button 3 means my middle button. Going to go ahead and push it. My relay 2 is going to trigger. Once my relay 2 is done, now my TDLY time is counting down. And my other door opened automatically. That is mode 3 vestibule sequencing option 1. One of my favorite features on this receiver, that it does that. Okay? Let's go ahead and jump back to the manual here and show you mode 4. Mode 4 is vestibule sequencing option number 2. Again, this is a really good feature. Up until now, we've been working with one receiver, and in every case, even though it wasn't necessary, one receiver and both relays. In this one, we're using 2 different receivers. This is where this other door is going to come into place. 2 different receivers communicating together, again, using the same exact sequence that we just did. But now the application is you have one receiver for one door, and you cannot get wires from that relay on receiver number 1 to the second door. So you have to use a second receiver, but you still want the sequencing for that vestibule to be intact. So what we're going to do is we're going to program transmitters or push plates 1 and 4 on relay 1 and transmitters 2 and 3 on relay 2. This is talking about receiver 1. Transmitters 1 and 4 will activate relay 1 for the tone 1 time. Transmitter 2 and 3 will activate relay 2 for the tone 2 time after the TLDY time. And then we're going to do the exact same thing. So let's first do receiver number 1. We're going to program transmitters 1 and 4 on relay 1 and 2 and 3 on relay 2. We have already done that. All I'm going to change in this case is our mode from mode 3 to mode 4. Again, third button from the right, press it, potentiometer to mode 4, and if you wanted to scroll through your relay times and change those and your TDLY time, you can, but I'm not going to do that because we already have those programmed in. So this is now set to mode 4. Now what we need to do, and you're not going to be able to see this very well, we need to come over to the second receiver, which we have done nothing to. And our instructions, if we refer back to those, are going to say program transmitters 2 and 3 on relay 1 and 1 and 4 on relay 2. So the opposite of what we did on receiver 1. Transmitters 2 and 3 will activate relay 1 for the tone 1 time, and 1 and 4 will activate relay 2 for the tone 2 time after the TLDY time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump up here. This one's upside down, so I kind of have to change the way I think. So relay 1, I'm going to program button 2 and button 3. That's done. And I'll let that time out. Okay. And now relay 2, button 1, and button 4, and you'll notice that other door is opening because I'm in range with this transmitter. Okay. So let me just make sure this one programmed in. Okay. So now we can show you how this works. I've got to make sure I keep my transmitters right. So what's going to happen now, get my transmitters, is I have buttons 1 and 4. So in this case, this is the outside of the building coming in and the middle of the vestibule. I'm going to press 1. It's going to trigger that door. This door is currently locked. The TLDY time counted down, and now my door unlocked. If there's an automatic door, it would have automatically opened, but in this case, it didn't, okay? Now I'm going to press button 4, which is going to do the exact same thing. Button 4 would be in the middle of our vestibule. Okay, it's going to do the same thing. Again, this door is locked until my TDLY time timed out, and that door unlocked. Okay? Now we're going to do the reverse with buttons 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is the inside of the building going outside. Okay? So I'm going to let that door shut. I'm going to press this. This is locked. Okay? Relay 2 triggered on this. Relay 2 is not wired into this strike, but you'll see now the TDLY time is counting down on this unit here because of the blinking screen, and relay 2 triggered on that. Okay? That's going to time out. Same thing's going to happen again. Relay 2 just triggered on this door. I can hear it. There's no indication of it other than I can hear it. And now our TDLY time is going, and our second door is going to open here at the top, and there it goes. So that is vestibule sequencing option 2, mode 4. Mode 4, but we call it vestibule sequencing option 2 because this is when you want to do vestibule sequencing, but you are going to use 2 different receivers. Again, just really cool functionality, being able to push the push plate. Door 1 opens. This door's not open yet because it's not supposed to, because usually you would set the TDLY time longer to where that door shuts, and then this one opens. Mode 4, sequencing, vestibule sequencing option 2. Mode 5, I'm going to skim by here for a minute because you'll understand it a little bit better once I show you mode 6. Mode 6 is our last mode. It's called the latch mode. What this does is if I transmit and send a signal to relay 1, it will activate relay 1 for the relay time that I've set. Then after the TDLY time, or the countdown between relays, it's going to activate, and not just activate relay 2, but it's going to latch relay 2 open until I tell it to unlatch relay 2. So let me show you how that works. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clear this door out so that it's not messing with us as we're working with that other door, because we're done with this example here. Again, I'm just going to delete it like I did the other ones until I see that flashing light. Okay, so that's clear. And you can maybe see that light right there. It's going to be solid. No, you can't see it, too far away. That's okay. And then it's going to blink. Okay, so that's clear. So we're not going to be getting any triggers on that door now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete everything again on both relays on this door, just so we can start with a clean slate here to show you the functionality of this one. Okay, so that one's clear, and again, I can tell by the screen changing and my solid red light starts flashing rapidly. Okay, and that one's clear. Now I'm going to go in after this time's out. I'm going to change my mode, my function, to mode 6. Let's change our relay 1 time to, well, let's just do our relay 1 time to 2 seconds. We'll do our relay 2 time. Relay 2 time won't matter because relay 2 is going to latch, but I'm going to set my TDLY time to have this door fully shut before that relay triggers. Okay, so now what's going to happen is I'm going to program in this push plate again. And I'm going to just do the transmitter. I'm going to press and hold, rad 1. That transmitter now says done, and that is programmed in. Okay, we'll let it time out. And now what's going to happen in mode 6 is I'm going to trigger that. Relay 1's going to fire, so that door will open. And then you'll notice after my TDLY time, which is 15 seconds, because I want this door to shut after that 15 seconds, that light, or relay 2, is going to trigger, and that light will stay on until I tell it to turn off by pressing the transmitter again. Okay, so my door opens. It is now counting down. Again, if we can switch the screen here real quick. Anytime the TDLY time is counting down, your screen is flashing here. It's a really nice indicator of what's going on. Okay, we'll go back. That door is going to fully shut, and now that light goes on. Okay, and that light is on and will stay on. I'm not going to press anything. I'm going to show you that it's latched. That light's going to stay on until I press this button again. Now it's off. So let's walk through that one more time, and we'll show you the full screen this time so you can see it. Relay 1 triggers. My TDLY time, or countdown time, is 15 seconds because I wanted this door to fully shut. As soon as that door shuts, my relay 2 light comes on, and it's latched now. Mode 6 is latching the second relay. Okay, I'm going to turn that off, and just to show you different application here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to program in this push plate. Okay, you can see how quick and easy this is. I've done all of these modes, and it's probably been 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, and the same thing's going to happen here as soon as it times out. That's going to open, and you'll notice after the 15 seconds that my relay 2 time will come on, or my relay 2 light will come on. And there it goes. And it is latched on until I tell it to turn off. And now it's off. Okay, so that's mode 6. If we go back to this, we have our mode 5. The only difference between mode 5 and mode 6 is you could put in an access controller or a time clock to automatically trigger the first relay. I was manually triggering it with a transmitter or with a push plate. You can stick a time clock or access control into relay 1, and it will trigger relay 2 after a certain amount of time. That's the only difference. Okay, so you can see that this receiver has a lot of different functions. We built it in mind for access control, automatic doors, and automatic gates. The price point, once you call and get that information from us, you'll be amazed for what we've shown you today in this short amount of time, the price that you can get this thing for. And again, it fits all different types of applications. So we thank you for your time. Please call us with any questions.